Hey there, plant enthusiasts and farming enthusiasts. Get ready to dive into the mesmerizing world of gardening and farming with me.
Hey everyone, and welcome back to the garden. It's just so good to have you here. Y'all know how much I love a good transformation story, and let me tell you, nothing beats the feeling of turning an ordinary patch of earth into a thriving, abundant garden. Whether you're starting with a blank canvas or looking to breathe new life into an existing space, I truly believe that anyone can create a garden they love, no matter the size or experience level. And the best part? It doesn't have to be complicated. That's why I'm so excited to share these 10 gardening hacks that are sure to take your garden from blah to blooming in no time. We're talking simple, practical tips and tricks that can make a world of difference. Get ready to be inspired because hack number 7 is a game changer. Now, I know a lot of you are working with limited space, especially in urban settings. But trust me, you don't need acres of land to create a bountiful garden. That's where our first hack comes in, vertical gardening. Think of it like this. Instead of spreading out, we're going to go up. One of my favorite ways to do this is with trellises. They're perfect for vining plants like cucumbers, tomatoes, and beans. Just imagine a wall of lush greenery covered in ripe, juicy vegetables. And don't forget about hanging baskets. They're ideal for cascading flowers, herbs, and even strawberries. If you're short on floor space, you can also mount planters directly onto walls or fences. The key to successful vertical gardening is to choose the right plants and provide them with the support they need to thrive. Make sure your trellises and hanging baskets are sturdy enough to handle the weight of your plants as they grow. Vertical gardening is not only space-saving, but it's also a great way to add visual interest and dimension to your garden. Now let's talk about one of my all-time favorite gardening secrets. Wood chips. Y'all, this is a game changer. Think of wood chips as a magic potion for your soil. They act as a natural mulch, helping the soil retain moisture and reducing the need for frequent watering. Wood chips are like little weed warriors, creating a barrier that prevents those pesky invaders from taking root. As wood chips break down over time, they release valuable nutrients into the soil, acting like a slow-release fertilizer for your plants. To use wood chips in your garden, simply spread a layer a few inches thick around your plants, making sure to keep the chips away from the base of the stems. As the chips decompose, they'll enrich the soil and create a healthier environment for your plants to thrive. They're a simple, natural, and cost-effective way to improve your soil, conserve water, and reduce weeds. Give them a try and watch your garden flourish. One of the things I love most about gardening is that it allows us to connect with nature and live a more sustainable lifestyle. Today, I want to share some simple, yet incredibly effective sustainable gardening practices that can make a world of difference. First up, let's talk about water conservation. Collecting rainwater is one of the easiest and most beneficial things you can do for your garden. Setting up a rain barrel is easier than you might think. You can find them at most garden centers or even repurpose a large trash can. Now let's talk about composting. Think of compost as black gold for your garden. Instead of throwing away those eggshells, coffee grounds, and veggie peels, toss them in a compost bin. Composting not only reduces household waste, but also creates a natural fertilizer that enriches your soil, improves drainage, and helps your plants thrive. Sustainable gardening is all about working in harmony with nature, and these practices are a beautiful way to do just that. Chapter 4. Organic Pest Control. Keeping it natural in the garden. One of the joys of gardening is harvesting fresh, homegrown produce. But sometimes those pesky garden pests have a way of inviting themselves to the feast. Don't worry, I'm about to let you in on a little secret. You don't have to resort to harsh chemicals to keep those critters at bay. Let's talk about organic pest control, a way to protect your precious plants while being kind to the environment and those beneficial insects that help our gardens thrive. One of my go-to natural pest control solutions is neem oil. This wonder oil, derived from the seeds of the neem tree, is like magic in a bottle. It works as a natural insecticide, fungicide, and even has some antibacterial properties. To use neem oil, simply mix it with water according to the instructions on the bottle and spray it on your plants, making sure to coat both the tops and undersides of the leaves. Now, let's talk about another one of my favorite organic pest control methods: companion planting. It's all about strategically planting different species of plants together to deter pests, attract beneficial insects, and even improve the growth and flavor of your crops. For example, planting marigolds alongside your vegetables is a time-tested technique. Marigolds emit a strong scent that repels many common garden pests, like aphids, whiteflies, and even some small rodents. Another great companion planting combination is basil and tomatoes. Basil repels tomato hornworms, whiteflies, and aphids, while also improving the growth and flavor of your tomatoes. So the next time you're planting your garden, think about incorporating some of these organic pest control methods. Chapter 5. Raised Bed Gardening, the ultimate soil control solution. Now let's talk about a gardening method that has truly changed the game for me and so many others. Raised bed gardening. Imagine this. Perfectly framed beds filled with loose, fertile soil just begging for seeds and seedlings. Raised beds bring the garden up to you, making planting, weeding, and harvesting a breeze. One of the biggest advantages of raised bed gardening is the ability to create the perfect soil blend for your plants. You get to start fresh with a custom mix of topsoil, compost, and other amendments, creating an ideal environment for your plants to thrive. Plus, raised beds drain better than traditional gardens, which is especially helpful in areas with heavy rainfall. Building a raised bed is easier than you might think. You can use a variety of materials, such as untreated lumber, cedar planks, concrete blocks, or even recycled materials. Another advantage of raised beds is that they help keep those pesky weeds at bay. Raised bed gardening is a game changer for gardeners of all levels, from beginners to seasoned pros. Chapter 6. Greenhouse Gardening, Extending the Season, Multiplying the Harvest. Have you ever dreamed of plucking fresh, ripe tomatoes in the middle of winter, or starting your seedlings weeks ahead of everyone else? Well, my friends, let me introduce you to the wonderful world of greenhouse gardening. A greenhouse is like a magic bubble that extends the growing season, protects your plants from harsh elements, and allows you to cultivate a wider variety of plants. Even a small, inexpensive greenhouse can make a world of difference in your gardening endeavors. Greenhouses create a microclimate, trapping heat from the sun and creating a warm, humid environment that's ideal for plant growth. This means you can start your seeds earlier in the spring, extend your harvest into the fall, and even grow certain plants year-round, depending on your climate. Greenhouses are also a great way to create a haven for starting seeds. Whether you're a seasoned gardener or just starting out, a greenhouse can open up a world of possibilities. Chapter 7. Container Gardening, No Soil, No Problem. Now for that game-changing hack I promised you. Let's talk about container gardening, the ultimate solution for those with limited space, poor soil, or even just a desire to add a touch of greenery to their patios, balconies, or windowsills. Container gardening is exactly what it sounds like, growing plants in containers instead of directly in the ground. The beauty of container gardening is its versatility. You can grow almost anything in a container, from herbs and vegetables to flowers, shrubs, and even small trees. The key to successful container gardening is all about the soil. Use a high-quality potting mix that provides good drainage and aeration. When choosing your plants, consider the amount of sunlight your container garden will receive. Container plants tend to dry out faster than those grown in the ground, so it's important to water them regularly, especially during hot, dry weather. Container gardening is a fantastic way to bring the joy of gardening to anyone, anywhere. Chapter 8. Indoor Gardening, Bringing the Outdoors In. Now let's bring the joy of gardening indoors. Even if you don't have a yard or a balcony, you can still enjoy the satisfaction of growing your own fresh herbs and even some vegetables right in your kitchen. One of the easiest and most rewarding plants to grow indoors is herbs. Many herbs like basil, parsley, cilantro, mint, and chives thrive in the indoor environment with minimal effort. All you need is a sunny windowsill, preferably south-facing, to provide your herbs with at least 6 hours of sunlight each day. If you don't have a sunny windowsill, you can supplement with grow lights to provide your plants with the light they need. Beyond herbs, you can also grow a variety of vegetables indoors, such as lettuce, spinach, kale, and even tomatoes and peppers. Indoor gardening is a wonderful way to connect with nature, purify the air, and enjoy the flavors of fresh, homegrown goodness year-round. Well, there you have it. 10 game-changing gardening hacks to transform your garden from ordinary to extraordinary. I hope these tips inspire you to get out there and get your hands dirty, no matter the size of your space or your level of experience. Remember, gardening is a journey, not a destination. It's about experimenting, learning, and finding joy in the process. Now I want to hear from you. Which of these gardening hacks are you most excited to try? Share your thoughts and questions in the comments below. Don't forget to give this video a thumbs up if you found it helpful, and share it with your fellow gardening enthusiasts. Subscribe to Gardening and Farming for more tips, tricks, and tutorials. Together, let's grow something amazing!